Chuck in Janesville, Wisconsin. See more better with freeprescriptionlenses.com, and today I get to cut a really nice lenses for a really nice frame. It is the Oakley carbon plate. It is model number 5079, color 04, which is the black Ferrari red. Got the Ferrari emblem on the box. Ooh. So let's begin. The red interior of the box. The red case with the Ferrari emblem. The Oakley cleaning cloth, which also doubles as a bag with the Ferrari emblem on them. And the red drawstring. But the star of the show, the main attraction, the Oakley carbon plate, model number 5079, color 04, Ferrari red. This one's in the 55i size. It's got the red Oakley emblem on the carbon plate, the carbon fiber temples. And what's it say on this side? Scuderia Ferrari. I guess that's something in Italian. So let me begin. I'm going to pop out the original demo lenses, one of which has the Ferrari emblem on there. And of course you're going to receive all the manufacturer's original packaging. I'm going to place it into the tracing element of the blocker. You are Secret Agent 00760 or Secret Agent 760. I'm going to scan this barcode into the computer, so years from now, should you ever need new lenses, I'll be able to cut them for your frame. We're going to hit start. And this is series 760 of my 325 million volume series of making a pair of glasses for everyone in America. I'm on series 760 now, so stay tuned. Keep watching the other 234,999,000. Yeah, okay. Sorry, I didn't know there was going to be so much math involved. The little stylus is going to trace the inside bevel of each side of the lens. Here at freeprescriptionlenses.com, where everyone loves a bargain and no one is disappointed in quality. You buy genuine, authentic Oakley frame, and you'll receive one free pair of clear single vision prescription lenses or non-prescription fashion lenses. Yes, I am an authorized Oakley dealer. No, I'm not allowed to advertise them on my website. So if you want a frame, just email me or call me and I'll definitely get one out to you. That's what Chuck did. And let us begin. So that is the shape that I'll be cutting. I'm going to move this on to the next screen. Your pupillary distance for your right eye is 36.5, where the computer starts at 32.5. So we're going to tap the plus button a few times till we end up at 36.5. I want to raise the optical center height up from 16 to 19. This blue cross is the geometric center of your frame. Your eye is just above that geometric center. So I've already got your lenses. These are the invisible bifocal, the progressive lenses. This is an Essilor Ideal Advanced. It is a digital freeform progressive lens. I've already got it marked right. I'm going to place that one onto the platform. I'm going to change the layout chart since these are progressives and not single vision. But first I need to attach these to your lens. This is a block, or as I like to call them, Jenny from the block. I need a double-sided adhesive sticker, of which I've got a couple here. The black side is the sticky side. I'm going to stick this one onto the first block. Do the same thing now for the second one. Pull the sticker away to make the black side sticky. I'm going to line on the back is a silver button that is a magnet. It's going to do its job twice today. The first time it's going to attach itself to another magnet there in the arm. Place that there. Make sure everything is lined up perfectly. I have the optical center. I have these two dots that tells me that it's oriented in there just perfectly. I want to make sure the lens is large enough to fit, and it is. Make sure everything's lined up perfectly, and then hit the button. The arm's going to come down and place the block onto the right lens. We're going to do the same thing now for the left lens, which isn't marked, so let me grab my pen. I'm going to put an L on this lens, and if you guys missed any of that, let me recap. So I put an L on there. That's what I did. Okay, so pupillary distance for the left eye, 35. So I'm going to hit the minus button a few times, and we're going to bring it down from 36.5 to 35 because essentially it has mirrored the right lens. Pull the paper away to make the black side sticky. Line up the magnet. Put the lens, get everything lined up. The optical center, the other two dots tells me that it's oriented in there just perfectly for your astigmatism correction. Make sure the lens is large enough to fit, and it is. Make sure everything's looking good there. Just not seeing that other lens. Let me darken that a little bit, just a little bit. Put a dot on this side. There, I recapped again. There we go. I can see that dot better now. Make sure everything's lined up in there perfectly. It only takes a second to double check your work. You'll see me in my videos doing that. I am a perfectionist. I make sure that every pair of lenses is perfect before I ship them out. Hit that button, the arm comes down and places the block onto the left lens. So this is the edger. This is what costs $40,000. It does all the work while I run my mouth. It weighs 200 pounds. I recommend everyone go out, buy their own, put it on your own kitchen counter. You can cut your own lenses at home, and you won't need this guy with the two thumbs and the bad jokes to cut the lenses for you. The actual cutting wheel is over here on the far left. It's going to act like a heavy grit sandpaper to grind away your lens material until it's the final size. This wheel in the center, that channel, that little valley, that's what's going to put the V-shaped bevel onto the lens so it stays inside the bevel of the frame. So I'm going to go ahead and take the right lens, press that on there firmly. Well, first I got to wake up the computer. Secret Agent 760, excuse me. These are polycarbonate lenses. If they were plastic, Hindex plastic or Trivex, I would select that. I'm not going to polish the edge of the lens because it's not going to be seen anyway. I'm not going to put a safety bevel, which is smoothing out the front surface of the lens because it's not going to protrude from the frame. I am going to put a safety bevel on the rear concave surface of the lens. So I'm going to press the chuck onto there firmly, place the block on there firmly, place the lens into the chuck, or as I like to call it, the Charles, because I don't know the machine well enough to call it Chuck. Never met him, but he lets me call him Chuck, so that's cool. Hit the green arrow with the start in every language. The door closes, the clamp shuts, and then the lens is going to be traced by two white styluses, making sure that it's large enough to fit into the frame. You can see as it's going around tracing the shape. Then the old carpenter saying measure twice, cut once. It's measuring the thickness of the lens at every point to know exactly and precisely where to place the bevel so you have the least amount of edge thickness showing, of which you will not have any in this frame with your prescription. Or if you do, it is very minimal, but I do cut strong prescriptions all day long for free when you buy the frame, and it is a little bit more critical with the stronger powers. Now, if you see light flickering in the background, that is water there to catch the optical sawdust as it comes off the cutting wheel. Polycarbonate lenses cut dry, where plastic, Hindex plastic, and Trivex lenses cut wet, meaning that water sprays onto the lens for the duration of the cutting cycle. Now, water will spray onto this lens for the last 20 seconds just to wash away any optical debris that you may see beginning to form on the edge of your lenses. As I mentioned, these are polycarbonate. Polycarbonate lenses are 40% thinner and lighter than regular plastic. They are virtually unbreakable. They are high-impact ballistics grade lenses. It's the same lens material that our soldiers wear overseas in combat zones to protect their eyes from shrapnel or any other flying debris. It's also the same material that OSHA requires in their safety glasses to protect employees on factory floors or anywhere, landscapers, DOT, anyone who needs that extra layer of protection while working. Now, speaking of protection, it also has, your lenses, Chuck, have 100% UVA and UVB protection built into the lens. We know what the sun's harmful ultraviolet rays can do to your skin, where your eyes are 8 times more sensitive than your skin. So you have permanent sunscreen for your eyes, unlike the lotions, creams, and sprays that have to be reapplied every couple hours when you're in direct exposure to the sun there in Janesville, Wisconsin. This is permanent and never needs to be reapplied. Now, you got the transitions portion of the lens, which I'll demonstrate later, but you also got the Crizal anti-glare. Anti-glare is 3 features in one. The first feature is it reduces glare when driving at night, particularly driving at night in the rain, but from street lights, stoplights, computer screens, overhead fluorescent lights and such. Sorry, I got that one dusty when I dropped it. But it also goes by the initials ARC, which means anti-reflective coating. So it reduces reflections. When someone's looking at you, they're not looking at the reflection in your glasses. It makes for much better eye contact. Plus, if someone takes a picture with a flash, you won't see the flash lit up in the lens, or if you take a selfie, you won't see the camera in the lens. Now, the lens on the right does not have anti-glare. Your lens does. Now, the third feature that I like is it comes with the industry's hardest scratch coating. I'm going to open this door with my mind. You like that? I can do other things with my mind. I can melt ice with my mind. I can. It just takes me a couple hours, but I can do it. Just got to keep staring at it. So, that is dried off. Let's go ahead and get my Phillips head screwdriver, do a little lefty-loosey. In fact, let me grab a tray. I do not want to lose the lens. And anyone out there at home who does this, put a paper towel into a tray like a baking dish if you're changing the lenses out in your frames. Should the screw ever come out and bounce on a hard surface, it is gone. It bounces onto the floor, and good luck finding it. I'm keeping it upside down so the screw doesn't pop out, but that's still no guarantee. Tuck the lens in. Line up the screw where it is supposed to go. Do a little bit of righty-tighty. But as I was mentioning, the machine that applies the Crizal anti-glare costs well over $1 million. It takes over 24 hours to vaporize 8 different coatings onto your lens. So because of the time and the expense, they put the industry's hardest scratch coating on there to protect your time and investment. And actually, I think, oh no, it's biting. It's getting on there. Okay, that's good. Now I want to take it down a little bit more. Again, I am a perfectionist. I want these lenses to fit in here perfectly. I only get one shot to make these things perfect. I'm going to take it down to 1/10 of a millimeter. Press that back on there. Hit retouch. Now again, it's I'm going to take 1/10 of a millimeter going all around the circumference of the lens. I do not want to force the lens in there, have the lens be too tight, just because it can cause stress fractures in the lens, as well as give your frame, causing it to bow or to roll. But yeah, the machine that applies the anti-glare coating costs well over $1 million. It takes over 24 hours to vaporize 8 different coatings, doing 8 different layers of protection in the color spectrum for your eyes. So because of the time and the expense, they put the industry's hardest scratch coating on there to protect your time and investment. Now the lever is coming out. At the end of that lever is a spinning wheel, something you would find at the end of a Dremel tool. And it's going to smooth out the back surface of the lens should any portion of this lens protrude from the frame and come in contact with the skin, which it won't. But should it, it'll be nice and smooth. The other reason I say which it won't is that you have nose pads. Nose pads make the frame sit away from the face, unlike the plastic frame like I wear, which tend to sit closer in. I'm going to open that up. Let's dry the lens off again. Now that the lens is 1/10 of a millimeter smaller, use my thumbnail, wipe any schwarf, any optical debris off the lens. I'd say may the schwarf be with you, but it won't because I'm cleaning it all off. Now let's see if it fits in there better. Make sure the lens is lined up in there perfectly. Take my screwdriver, do a little righty-tighty. I've got a little rubber mat that I use to press against the, so to protect the finish of your frame as I press down on it. And that fits in there perfectly. It's perfectly closed this time. I am going to go ahead and start cutting the left lens. Flip that over to L. Press the chuck on there firmly. The block, I keep calling it a chuck today. The block. Put it into the chuck, the Charles, the Chucky Baby, the C-Rock, the Chi-Chi. The Charles knows best. So, just like before, the 2 white styluses are going to trace the shape, making sure the lens is large enough to fit, and then measuring the thickness of the lens at every point to know exactly and precisely where to place the bevel so you have the least amount of edge thickness showing, of which you have none with your prescription in this frame. So while that's cutting, I'm going to go ahead and take this block off. Pull the sticker off, dry the block off with my hand, add to my sticker collection. Oh, let's see, where should we put this one? Where should, there's a little bit of a flap there. Let's push that flap down. Oh, that's where the next one will go. It's growing, it's growing. So we're going to come down here to the lensometer, turn it on, make sure it is zeroed out. Put the axis wheel on 100. Your prescription reads plus 275 minus 75 at 100. Grab the flashlight. I'm going to put it in just above that black dot. Read the power, and I'm getting plus 275, 1 tick mark away from 3. The unit of measurement we use in the optical world is called a diopter, spelled D-I-O-P-T-E-R, starting at 0 and going up from there. So you're on the 15th rung of a ladder. You need 15 steps of far-sighted correction, excuse me, near-sighted correction. You are far-sighted. With your glasses off, you can see better far away than you can up close. So you need that plus 275 to be able to see better all around. Now, once everything is the correct size, the reason why there's a plus sign, these lenses magnify. With your glasses off, everything looks too small. So that's why your lenses will magnify to the correct size. Now, once the image is the correct size, you have 3 steps of astigmatism correction. Now, there's a stigma over the word astigmatism. It just means shape. It's like saying someone has straight hair, someone else has curly hair. That is it. It is not a disease. It is not an affliction. You have 2 curves on your eyes. You have plus 275 this way, minus 75 this way, and it's how we line up those two curves to make everything nice and crisp. And so we're going to line that curve up to 100. So we're at plus 275 now. Let's check your astigmatism correction. And we end up at plus 2. This one's the easier math for people to understand. So we started at plus 275. We did minus 75 from plus 275. And we end up at plus 2. Now your left eye, you need 1 step less correction. So you need 10 steps of correction there. Excuse me, you're 11 there, not 15. Again, I didn't know there was going to be so much math involved. So 10 steps of correction for nearsightedness, and then another 3 steps of astigmatism correction. If all goes well, we'll end up at plus 175. So we're going to come down here. I guess I can leave the prescription down there. Take the lens out of the chuck, dry everything off. Make sure there's no optical sawdust around the edge of your lens. The water does a good job, but I finish it off with my thumbnail. That's why I can't have nice thumbnails. Oh, there's a little schwarf right there on my finger. Lefty loosey, keeping the frame upside down so the screw does not pop out. I'm going to push that back in just a little bit. Put the lens in. Make sure it's lined up in the frame properly. Tighten the screw. Make sure it's going in. It is. Come down here, press on the rubber mat to finish tightening the screw. That is in there good. Take this block off, pull the sticker away, drop the block off, put the sticker there, come over here to the lensometer and place it in above that black dot. Turn the axis wheel to 90, that's the fine-tuned knob for your left lens. And I'm getting plus 250, exactly halfway between 2 and 3, plus 250. Again, minus 75 for your astigmatism correction, the 3 steps. And we end up at 175, 1 tick mark under the number 2. So that is cut perfectly. Your pupillary distance is 36.5 for your right eye, 35 for the left, for a total of 71.5. I'm going to turn the card around, place the PD stick against my thumb on your right lens, and then when we measure on the left lens, we're getting 71.5, so that is cut perfectly. I want to check the optical center heights. It's going to sit directly in front of your pupil. We're at 19 millimeters there. To the bottom of the frame, 19 millimeters there. So let me clean your lenses off. Now this is the portion in every video that as you see me clean the lenses, I mentioned that when you get these in the mail, and there's free shipping anywhere in the US, but when you get these in the mail, there is a small chance that these could fit too loose or too tight. However, there's an 80% chance that one side is going to sit higher than the other. That's because 80% of people have one ear that is higher than the other, and I'm no different. I'm part of that 80%. But because of that statistic, 99% of all optical shops will do free adjustments if you ask them. So just stop by your local place and tell them if it's too loose or too tight. Although these Oakleys with their wrap, they fit great. In fact, I have one ear that's higher than the other, but because mine fit the same way, I don't have to adjust them. And I can't tell you why, but I'm going to make sure these are in a standard alignment first, also known as the 3-point stance. The 3 points are 1, 2, and the bottom of the frame being 3. I set them on the counter and press down. There is no wobble when I flip them over. And again, normally my glasses wobble, but when I take mine off, they don't. Of course, I'm wearing the Oakley cross range switch in color blue-orange to match my blue-orange today. I always try and be matching. Plus, I love me some blue-orange. But press down, there is no wobble. Close each temple to make sure they overlap perfectly, and they do. But these carbon fiber temples line up with the red Oakley emblem and the red rubber temple tips on there. Now this is what your lenses look like clear. I'm going to give them one final cleaning with the cleaning cloth. Now, not only do I include a selfie request to have your picture on the website, but I include cleaning instructions not only for your frame and your lenses, but also for your Oakley cleaning cloth, the Crizal cleaning cloth that comes with them, and my premium microfiber cleaning cloth, which you will like the best. It's the largest and the softest, and you'll use this to clean your lenses. I field test every cleaning cloth to make sure that it works, so when you get these in the mail and there's a wrinkle in it, you know that it works. You can't say you can't clean your lenses. So this is what your lenses look like while they're still clear. I'm going to go ahead and activate them, which means I'm expose them to a strong burst of UV light. Now, as you can see, it takes about 30 to 45 seconds for all transition lenses to darken. It takes a little bit longer when you come back inside, 45 seconds to a minute 15. Now Chuck, pay attention, this is important. All transition lenses will get dark on day one. They're going to continue to darken every day for the first couple weeks they're exposed to the sun. After that, they will work for years at maximum performance. The only time they won't work is if you're behind the windshield of a car. Your windshield absorbs all the sun's harmful ultraviolet rays that would cause your dashboard to crack from sitting in the sun all day, and that's why transition lenses don't get dark in a car. Now, transitions extra active will get 30 to 50% dark, where transition signature 7 like you got will not. They're also temperature sensitive, meaning they will get darker when it's 85 degrees and below than they will when it's 95 and above. But I remind everyone that when it's near 100 degrees outside, you're miserable, your glasses are miserable. Nobody works 100% when it's 100 degrees. Now that's important because we are coming up to the dog days of summer. So if these don't get as dark as you want, of course in Wisconsin it's not going to be as bad as it is down here in the dirty south. It gets very hot and very humid down here, so you shouldn't have a problem like we do. But anyone in the south, don't panic. Your lenses will keep getting darker and darker as it cools off. So that's it. That's the first time they've been activated. Don't worry, they're going to keep getting darker. Come on, Chuck, we talked about that. Don't you remember? So if anyone has, if you like what you've seen, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, or you can follow me on Facebook or Instagram as freeprescriptionlenses.com. You can follow me on Twitter as freerxlenses. You can email me. I'm having trouble. Some people tell me it's hard to email me through the website under the Contact Me page. So you can email me directly at freeprescriptionlenses@gmail.com. Or better yet, leave a question or comment in the comment section below, and I will get back to you that way, and other people can read your question and benefit from your inquisitive nature. So Chuck in Janesville, Wisconsin, I hope you enjoyed watching as I cut prescription your Essilor Ideal Advanced. It's a digital freeform progressive lens with transitions gray and Crizal anti-glare. For your Oakley carbon plate is the model number 5079, the color 04, the size 55. It also comes in a 53 eye size, slightly smaller than this one. Again, this is the black Ferrari red. It sells for $433. And I am See More Better, and you have seen that this is now Mo Better. And everyone else has got the chance to see how I bring that love and feeling back to glasses. Thank you.